and welcome to this new session of learning how to handle your body, handle your joints, how to handle exercise in general. I know that I talk about movement and exercise an awful lot, but it's what I do. It's what I have passion for, and don't let it scare you. Don't let the word scare you, because exercise is so much more than lifting a dumbbell. It's so much more than even going to classes. It's about learning about your body, challenging it to a certain point where you can feel that benefit. Not everybody is made for all the exercises that I give by any means, and that's why I like to offer all sorts of things, including this video to people who are out there kind of on their own being like, I need to do this, but how do I do it? And this is why I'm doing what I do, and this is why I'm doing this video. So on that note, we are talking about the joints, and in specific joints, really the hips and the shoulders. And as you can tell just by kind of looking at what I'm pointing at, this is your frame of your body. And so what we do with these hips and the joints, and same with the shoulders, is what's keeping us together in terms of the limbs, how we walk, how we move, how we pick things up, how we reach, how we extend, how we climb up a mountain, how we drive. Everything is hips, joints, and then what's at the center is the core. So whenever I'm starting with someone new, we always talk about the core first and doing exercises that are going to help stabilize. But not even that. That even comes later on. The first and foremost thing is how you hold yourself in your posture. So when I'm standing here, and I'll give you a side view just for a second, is you can either stand up from your chair. So for instance, if you're sitting right now, follow along with me, okay? So take a seat, sit however you would sit in your chair, whether you're like leaning back or staying forward, okay? And just take note of how your body feels here. Now, there's a lot of things that we tend to just deal with, right? You're like, okay, well, I have this naggy hip. I've always had it. It's just what I have, you know? That is not a good thing to tell your body or yourself, because those things can be resolved and those things can be worked on to feel better. But all of us are scared of not only exercise, but the word time. Yeah, we have to take the time to do it. So while you're sitting here, and this is right now, and every single day, get yourself in proper alignment. I can't express this enough. Getting your knees so they're directly underneath your ankles is key. Getting your toes so they're pointed and not sitting on your chair, twisting your ankles or holding a position that's very odd for our body. Okay, that over time can cause some issues. I mean, especially even when you're in your car and you know that one leg is always extended, right? You got the pedal, gas, brake, gas, brake. It gets tiring, but then do you ever pay attention to this side? Any of you have a left hip problem, or maybe a left knee problem, or even an ankle? I find that one thing that I do in my car is I open up my hip here. And as a result, I've been experiencing some serious knee pain. And so as soon as I started to address that, stop doing that, and also apply a little bit more knee exercises, that pain has decreased. It's no longer there. Okay, so when you hold yourself, pay attention to alignment, okay? That's the first thing. Now, a lot of it is not only lower, but it's also upper body. So then when you look at your hips, you want to have your thorax here directly over your hip bones, your pelvis, okay? So then that's another thing. And then when you stand up, okay, same thing needs to happen. Your knees need to be directly underneath your ankles. The hips need to be directly underneath the knees. And then your thorax, obviously, needs to be directly above the pelvis. But this is what happens, is when we stand. The first thing is we have our hands facing us, okay? So our palms are facing us. What happens when we do that? Look how much I have rounded in the back, okay? My head is kind of forward. I feel like I'm hunched a little bit. Okay, as soon as I open my palms, watch what happens. I didn't have to do much. Did you see that change? It is dramatic. And you can actually kind of add a little bit more openness to it and bring those arms to the outside of your hands, okay? That is your step number one, alignment and then openness. Keeping this length between your shoulder blades is what's going to open up our chest, get our core more engaged, but also properly hold our pelvic floor in good position so that we don't have accidents, that we have control, that we can stand up and sit down, go all the way down to the floor, rise ourselves all the way up without any pain, discomfort, or any wonkiness in our body. Okay, then from here, okay, you have that openness, you have our stance, okay, the head. The head comes always in at the last moment, okay? Because there are so many of us, and if you walk down the street today, or maybe go for a ride, even watching people in their cars, it's this, okay? We all have this forward head disease that we're having a hard time with. So what I like to kind of suggest people to do is chin tuck, chin tuck, chin tuck, and lengthen, okay? And this could be an exercise in itself, just letting the chin forward and back, okay? This is where it starts, okay? Exercise is not intimidating. It's a thing that you can start to do right now on your chair, in your car, in the movements that you do day to day, that can make all the difference. It's the same thing with your diet, you know? Like, you're like, oh, I want to lose weight. I always have this fat in my stomach, and blah, blah, blah. I'm getting so tired of it because I'm just like, okay, let's look at your lifestyle. Let's see what kind of things can you eliminate to make your life better, okay? So ask that question for yourself. What in your diet, what in your movements can you change to make your life better? Do you drink soda? Okay, that's a big no-no. No more fructose syrup, okay? No more. End that situation, end that crap, because it's not good for you whatsoever. If anything, it's causing more problems, not only for your gut health, but also your muscles, how you hold yourself. You are what you eat. Your movement matters. All of that really is like, yeah, cliche as it is. No, it's not. It's for real. Okay, so now when we kind of take it down one more notch, I want to just kind of introduce how to stabilize the joints, but also move them in a way where they are functioning at their capacity. So the next step after alignment is really kind of getting into opening your joints, if you will, because we tend to move and do our work without ever taking the time to just kind of loosen up a little bit. Like, how many of you are warming up before work? Even if it's your desk job. Like, do you do like a little, trunk twist or open of your arms or high knees just to kind of get those hips, or even like a kickback, back and forth? No? Well, maybe you should think about it, because those types of things will allow your body to get into better form, better posture, and stability all day long. And you'll be more conscious of it. So you might just do it in the morning at first. Okay, I'm gonna just start with my little blooming flower, open up those chests. You know what? And if coworkers look at you wrong, you just say, I'm trying to be good for my body. I'm trying to do well for my body, okay? They can't fault you for that. Everyone should be doing well for their body. So it's on you to do it. It's you and yourself. You're fighting against yourself. No one else really cares, okay? No one does. So do what's best for you. Get into the habit. I love this exercise, our nerve flossing. I've kind of just discovered that you can kind of do it Egyptian style to make it look even cooler. Or you just kind of do your wrist rolls. Open up those nerves. In and out, kind of feel the length going all the way down your arm, okay? And then the same thing with your hips, okay? Just getting that movement, okay? Circling the hips one direction, and then circling them the other way, making sure you do both sides. I mean, you only have to do like 5 or 6 on each, okay? And then switch. And I will tell you, if you're a person who hasn't been doing this at all, you're gonna feel better in the joints, I promise. It is a good thing for you. And if you're not, then you might be a step ahead of everybody, and you might be able to add a little bit more juice to your recipe here. So this is where I'm gonna end it. So be aware of how you're holding yourself from the center out, okay? So getting the core engaged first always starts with alignment, then allowing the air to flow in and out of your body is incredibly important for the core muscles to engage, and then thinking about how you can kind of lube up your joints with just small motions, little stretches to lengthen your body and feel like you have the full capacity to move anywhere you want to go. All right, that's it what I got for you today, and I hope you take this and keep going every single day. I'll talk to you guys soon.